All right, so let's talk about surveys. In certain situations, you may want to have a survey versus a form. Form is your long form. It's got like name, email, address, phone number. It's all on one form to fill out. Sometimes that can be threatening. And what you can do is actually create a survey that asks non-threatening questions, one question at a time, to get more people to actually opt in. And so it's a great way to, discover if you want to disqualify customers or qualify them. It's a great way to kind of get some more opt-ins by starting out with some non-threatening questions. It's also a great way to ask a lot of questions in a series without it being so intimidating of seeing this huge long form that they have to fill out and not knowing how long it's going to actually take. So it's a great way to do that. So here's an example of a survey. Here's for a mortgage website. You've probably seen stuff like this before. If you've ever tried to get a mortgage, you've seen questionnaires like this, where you've got, are you currently working with a real estate agent? How soon do you plan to buy a home? Where it's taking them through the process, asking a series of questions to get them to the end, which also then has the opt-in questionnaire. So if we wanted to build that on our platform, what you got to do, head over to the site section on the left-hand side, and then you're going to go and navigate to surveys and builder. And when you do that, it's going to put up a builder on here that we can build out with our questions. Now, the difference is, instead of putting everything in one section like we did with the form, what you're going to do is you're going to add slides for each section there. If you want to add them all into one section, there is an option under styles, I believe. No, it's under options, where you could ask one question at a time. So if you want to put everything under one, you can do that. You just got to select this field to ask one question at a time as it moves on. But I like to have slides so I kind of know that there's a question on every page. It gives me some more room to think and let me know that, hey, that's going to the next question, right? So if we go back over, we go to our fields and we start asking questions. So what I like to do in surveys, I like to start out with non-threatening questions first. I like to start out with things that they're not really giving up their personal contact information yet. I save that for the end. So in my first couple of questions on my survey, I usually ask custom field questions where I've created different questions that they can pick from, or something that's not going to, they won't care to answer right away. So first we'll select challenges and bring that over. What are your challenges? We might do, how soon do you want to get started? Those are the types of questions, things like that. You can customize your survey however you want with whatever questions you want. If you want to add questions, you click on custom fields over here to your right and add custom field. And then you can go and add different options here. So you can add a text question, you can add checks boxes for them to click, drop down boxes, all kinds of stuff on here. You just want to play with these. What I like to do is, when I'm teaching somebody new on how to use the platform, just go in and add one of these and play with the settings and see what it looks like on the page for each time you do it. And then you're going to get a really good feel for what all is available and what it's going to look like in the end. Now, what you want to do is build out your questions. Once you get through the basic ones, then you start asking for personal contact information, because obviously we want to opt in with this. So we might ask their first name and last name. Okay. Then we ask for a phone number. So you go through and start asking them for that. Then we ask for an email. Now, once you're done on there, all you got to do is click Save Survey. That's going to save your survey here. And what we need to do is to give this a name. So we'll go up here to Options. We'll scroll to the top, and we've got Survey 2 here. Let's go ahead and give this a good solid name so that we can remember it. Here is our survey, but you can save it for whatever you want. That's going to customize that survey for when you're putting it in your funnels, that you can remember what it is. You want to save it to something that is easy to bring back up and use in the future. Now, once they submit their message, you've got two options. You can send them to a URL. So if you have a thank you page in your funnel or on your website, you can enter the URL right here and it can direct them over thank you and go ahead and add that to your CRM. If you want, you can also do a message. So you can say something like, thank you for taking the time to complete the survey. You can also have disqualifying messages. If they selected something here that like you didn't like, you can actually select these things and, you know, like the questions, like let's say that if they select a certain one that they need more customers, that's not what you do. So maybe you disqualify immediately if they select this option. And then if they need better sales staff, you keep them going to the next one. If they need more inventory, you send them over to the next page. So you can get really interesting with your logic and you can disqualify prospects, ask the right questions, and kind of figure out if they're worth messing with, right? Now, once you finish all of that, you save your survey, and now the survey can go on the website. So our survey is saved. We'll navigate back over to our website. I'll click on Edit the Page. And all we got to do is add an element. So if you remember, inside a row, you can add an element. So if this isn't here, you can kind of add another one, add an element, and we need to find survey. I think I skipped it here somehow. Here it is, survey. So you're going to drag that in. And you'll select your survey. So we saved it as here is our survey. So there we go. So now you can see our survey is on the page. And if we save this and preview it, let's see what it looks like. So now our survey is there. We can go. And if you remember, if they select need more customers, it disqualifies them and doesn't let them continue. So based on the message, we can have them disqualify if we want. Or we can start them on the next question. So see how you can build these surveys, and you can kind of customize these however you want. You just need to think about what questions to ask, how to format it, how to structure your survey to where it's non-threatening, and then you can add it to your page and customize it however you want.